Hey everybody, I just want to thank our sponsor for this week, Brian S. Thank you so much for your donation, Brian. We really appreciate it. I also want to just thank all of our Patreon subscribers. You guys help us so much. We really, really, really appreciate it. So thank you all for that. If you are new to Patreon or just haven't heard, make sure you send me an email, Sean@IHateHorror.com, and let me know what your pick is for your Patreon pick. You get to pick 3 movies, and I'll choose one of them. And we'll do an episode on it eventually. We are getting down our list, so we will eventually be done with these. So yeah, send us your pick, and we'll add it to our list of movies we're going to do. And we are doing them in order, just all the way down. So we will definitely get to it. We're not taking a lot of time off these holidays with the specials and stuff, obviously. You gotta do some holiday specials. I'm rambling now. So, I wanted to say that. I wanted to say, so it's patreon.com/IHateHorror. You can donate there, and you can always cancel. It's really just a monthly donation. We do the bonus episodes, but we even appreciate if you just do 1 month and cancel after that. I mean, even that helps us so much. So thank you all for that. Store.IHateHorror.com. We have those new designs out there right now. Tons of styles, tons of colors. So check those out as well. We get a little cut. And if you go through store.IHateHorror.com, that takes you to our store through TeePublic. And anything you buy on TeePublic, we get a cut of. So it doesn't matter what you buy, as long as you use that link through that site. And I know they're having Cyber Monday deals. So if you like t-shirts and stuff, definitely check that out. They've got some cool designs there. And that's really it. This Thursday coming up, we're doing some recording our next 2 episodes, but I think we're also going to do a Google Hangout, hopefully. It's going to be a busy week, but we're going to try and do it. If not, I will keep you guys notified, and this is for Patreon members only. And so if you are a Patreon member, look for that link on Thursday. It's going to be a Stanny's nominee party. I want to get you guys on Google Hangout. We're going to throw out all the categories, and you guys can help us figure out what our nominees are. So do your research before Thursday. Hopefully we'll do it that night. See what picks you guys have. And if you don't know, for the Stannies, we only do movies that we've talked about on the show that year. So since the last Stannies happened, all of those movies, I'll probably release a list just so it's easier for you guys to reference. And so those are the movies for the Stannies. And let us know what your nominees are. If you're not going to be taking part in that Google Hangout, send us your ideas for categories, your categories and nominees. We had some awesome ones last year. So send those to Sean@IHateHorror.com, and we'll probably use them in the Stannies. So it can be anything. Last year, like our friend Betty Toxic, I don't know what to call her. I know her real name. She gave us Best Smile. And really, there was only 2 options. It was Jennifer, who was obviously going to win, and someone else with a terribly disgusting smile. So that's in the vein of what we want. I don't care if you even just give me the winner, who you think the winner is. I will probably read them on the show. So give us your categories. I'll be releasing some of the categories that we have already. I mentioned them in the last episode, but I'll find a way to post them online. I'll make a Stanny's web page or something. So I'll get that set up. Guys, enough of me fucking talking. Enjoy this episode. It is The Pit. It was done after like 4 hours of reading scripts. So I hope you enjoy it, guys. Thank you so much. Hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Enjoy.
She's always asking why I like watching people die, and why I give my kicks while others scream and cry. And my friends think that I'm sick, or maybe uneducated, and my family doesn't want to admit that they are related. Now monsters and madmen who rape and mutilate are perfect entertainment when I take her on a date. You
everybody, and welcome to The Horror Show, the show that dissects, mutilates, dismembers, and butchers all of your favorite and not so favorite horror movies and other horror-related events. My name is Sean.
I'm Paul.
I'm Joe.
Interrupting cow. Right? You know that joke?
Yep.
My son loves
No.
that joke. Yeah. Guys, welcome back. Hope you enjoyed last week's episode. That was something.
Yeah,
We're still here, working our asses off.
working overtime.
We claim it was an easy week off, but it wasn't. It was like triple the work. And I still have to edit that show. Episode 92, we're so close to 100. I can taste Dead Body Man now.
Ugh.
Have we ever talked about our plans for Dead Body Man on the show?
Yeah,
I
a couple
think we have,
times.
Yeah. And you're always like, I hate it. And I'm like, oh, I can't wait. What? What do you have to say?
I hope you already ripped that thing because I was actually thinking about destroying the DVD as soon as you pulled it out.
I do have it
But
right
Joe
already.
yelled at me. He said he's mad at me for the first time we destroyed
I
it.
am. It's a relic.
It is a relic. I honestly think it's a piece of I feel like really, and I paid so much money for that DVD.
How much of it did you watch?
I didn't watch any of it.
Then you don't know. It's a giant sack of
Yeah,
shit.
Paul,
course.
I think that we've seen some movies that might give it a run for its money.
I don't think they'll be
Paul,
worse.
when we watched it was like 12 years ago. And we've watched some shit this past 2 years.
Yeah, but there's better production quality.
I don't know about that. Well,
This is
yeah,
the
no, it's
worst
really
of
bad.
it.
I saw
This
pictures.
is the
of
worst of everything.
Paul, those shark movies that we watched
Yeah.
are not better.
Dude, they at least... The
would
person,
rather
the person,
watch-
the person that they stole that stock shark footage from actually filmed that with a real camera. So I understand that they stole it and probably ripped it off YouTube. But it looks better.
That's fine. You would rather watch Tintorera.
Dead Body Man was like,
You would
fucking
rather, that's not
long.
what I asked you.
Yeah.
I don't think you would.
What was the runtime on that?
It felt like eternity. What about the
Dude.
Joe D'Amato one?
I would love to.
You would not.
I don't think.
You would not.
I don't think
I
you're
don't-
thinking clearly.
I don't think you understand.
I do.
I was in the fetal position by the end of this movie.
He was. That's a fact.
That actually happened. Like, not even like joking. Like, that literally happened. I like seized up. Like, I didn't know what the fuck happened.
That's a fact.
Oh my god.
It's not that bad.
Well, speaking of bad movies,
Yeah.
The Pit, brought to you by Baindrum on Twitter. Right? That's who. Yeah. Baindrum. So check that out. Check him out. Not them. That or that. It's a man. Thank you for recommending this. We would have done it anyway, whether you picked it for Patreon or not, because of that conversation we had one time in a Google Hangout. And I was like, I need to watch this. And I regret that sentiment now.
It was not good.
Actually, so I have a few different ways I look at it. I'm not in Joe's camp. I don't think it was terrible.
What?
I don't know. I think there's something weird about it. Anyway, let's get to it. October 23rd, 1981.
It's wrong.
I'm wrong?
Oh, it's terrible.
It's some of the worst child acting I've ever seen.
And the story is so... Paul, it's called The Pit, and the pit doesn't come into play until like minute 100.
No, I think you just...
In minute 2.
Yeah, minute 2.
Yeah. I know you see the pit, but the climax doesn't start until the movie's almost over.
Dude, when I saw
That
the
is
Pit-
true.
When I saw Pit, I almost climaxed. It was so good.
And The Pit is a tale of like 2 movies. There's like this movie about a kid that is the creepiest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Totally inappropriate.
Right.
And which is like really unsettling. And then this
And then
like
The
weird
Pit.
slapstick comedy called The Pit. It's like and they're like chasing people around the pit. It's the weirdest fucking shit I've ever
Like
seen.
around Hay Garden scene.
Or
I wish it was that long.
Benny Hill. Just a guy dressed up as a British police officer chasing like half naked women around the pit, pushing them in to get eaten. Spoilers.
My notes on this, I'm looking at them now. The Pit must have had an effect on me because I have one line that just says a woman. I don't know what it's referring to.
Dude, I have more notes on The Pit than I think I have on any other movie.
Well, good.
In our entire lives.
Jesus, take the wheel.
Yeah. So this movie was made in 91. It looks ancient.
Wait. You said
81.
91?
81.
Okay.
I said 91? You can say that into the microphone. You can correct me.
Guys, it's been a while. All right?
God damn it. Canadian, here's my joke. Canadian 1981 is like an American 1975. Am I right?
Jesus.
You know, Prom Night was a Canadian film.
That's
Was
true.
it?
And that had the same thing. It was like 1984.
And they had a disco scene.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. If it was made in the 80s in Canada, it's a 1973 film. So just be aware of that when you're watching these movies. So this is I don't even know what to say. Blu-ray just dropped of this in October. I can't believe there's a Blu-ray release of it.
And then people are excited for it.
No, dude, well, why would it even have like the draw? Oh, wait, I can tell you. Well, Wikipedia can tell you. Due to its unusual premise and Sammy Snyder's effective performance, it has retained a small cult following.
Small.
Me.
Yeah.
The man writing this article, which also happens to be Ted Levine. So let's get into this, man. We open with a kid party. The two like oldest looking children of all time. They look like they're like
They are in high school.
Yeah, I thought it was a high school party.
I still think it's a high school party. I don't
Why
know
would you think? But you're saying that like it's okay or no?
What do you mean?
Well, how old is this? How old is little Sammy Snyder's? Or
Dude, I'm sure they say his age, but I thought he was like 9.
I thought like that too.
yeah.
So why would he be? Yeah, James.
So why is this other kid courting that broad?
Oh no, he is a lot older. So Ian Stewart's original screenplay was considerably. This is from Wikipedia. Considerably different from the final film. In his screenplay, Jamie was 8 or 9 years old, and the tralalogs were figments of his imagination. When Lou Lehman signed on to direct, he made Jamie older, the monster's real, and added more humor to the original script. I would question that. So I guess he is older than that. So we're probably looking at like 13 to 15 range.
That's weird.
Oh,
He gets
they do
baited.
say it is like 13 because it's like just on the cusp of puberty. They're like, oh, he's just starting to get
All right.
those urges. So it still doesn't make sense. These kids are like 35. Ghost walks up to him and goes, "Hey, are you Freddie Phelps?" And we get this weird flashback of Freddie just punching this kid's face unmercifully.
Smashes it.
The kid's like, "Hey, can I join your club?" And Freddie Phelps just fucking decks him, and everyone just starts cracking up. And that's our first glimpse of Jamie, who is under the ghost costume, obviously. The ghost leads these two 30-something-year-old children away, and they're cutting to like weird clips of the party, which just disgusting food and trash everywhere. Did you?
Yeah.
notice that? I wanted to fucking throw like half-eaten hot dogs and shit. Kids party. Somebody get control of that fucking party. Terrible party.
Where are all the parents?
All the parents in this town are MIA anyways.
And by the way, these kids are, even if those kids are in high school, this ghost tricks them by being like, a pirate left a bag of treasure in the woods.
Yeah, it's worth like $1 billion. He's like, I just can't store it all in my house. So you can have all of it.
That's exactly right.
He's like, it's over there by that tree.
Yeah.
A giant hole in the ground.
Yeah, and he says he'll bring him to it if he can join his club and promises not to hit him. And this like 20-something's like, yeah, sure, man. Sounds like a good deal. Why don't I just beat the shit out of you and not take your fake bag of gold? So they go to the pit, and young Jamie pushes him into a giant hole. Or a pit, I guess. And it flashes pit on the screen, but I still wrote hole in my notes.
And right off the bat, the acting is abysmal by every single person involved
Yeah.
in that first 5 minutes.
Joe hates kid actors, man.
That's not true. I hate a lot of them.
How many kid performances do you like?
That's a great question. I'm glad you asked that. I don't have an answer.
Yeah, because you don't. You hate them all. We get a horrendously abrupt cut to the daytime at school. Kids in detention doing like Jamie's in detention doing a Bart Simpson style punishment.
Writing on the board.
Yeah.
You know you're not allowed to do that anymore. They can call DCF on you.
I mean, it's a fucking shitty punishment. Like not in a way that's like, oh, it's so shitty. I would never want to do that. It's just shitty. Like Oh, you make me write on a board. Oh my god.
Well,
It's
it
terrible.
sucks because you have to do it while other kids are outside having recess.
Oh, it's dirty. All right.
But now it's too cruel.
Well,
Why?
I don't know.
because you
Teaching
can hurt your
sucks.
wrist.
You can give them
So glad I
ISS, but you can't because their arms get worn out. You give that kid the longest fucking.
You can't
essay
give
you've ever
ISS
seen.
anymore.
Bullshit.
No.
Are you serious?
Yeah, that's what my wife said.
You can in this definitely still goes on.
Oh,
We
really?
just need to bring back hitting kids.
That's what I'm saying.
Good old fashioned.
Fucking rulers on the knuckles.
Just like fucking Freddie Freeman.
This kid needed it.
Yeah, for sure.
If anyone needed corporal punishment, it's this little fella.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The worst disgusting human being I've
Yeah.
seen.
Like Wilson train.
So he's writing, I will not bring adult books to class on the board. But it's an art book full of nude women, which kind of feels like, okay, this is early 80s. You know, I get it. Okay, don't bring the nude art class. But it gets so fucking dark. It gets so fucking dark. Because one page has a body cut out. It's got a naked woman and the body's completely cut out. The head's left on. That fucking train. And the teacher asks him about it. And he says, you know, it was that way when I got it. You ever have a kid bring a nudie mag to school?
All the time.
Oh.
Yeah.
And what do you
Get ours in the woods.
Well, yeah.
Bury that shit.
What did you do to him? Just
Pretty much the same thing my dad did to mine.
Fab.
take it.
I'll be taking these. No, really though. Mostly just throw them out.
Yeah. Yeah, I can imagine.
Look through it first though.
You're like, yeah.
You have to check. Make sure it's bad material. The teacher
But
returns.
now, actually, sorry. But now, like, when they sign on the computers, you have to like stand behind them, or like if you know the kid's like Freddie over here.
Oh, really?
Check his user history. Normally, just like boob or penis typed into the
Yeah. Oh,
Google
my God.
search.
Well,
Those
this
kids
kid.
don't know how to clear cache yet.
No, they don't.
Fucking nerds.
The teacher brings the book back to the library, and the librarian's acting super weird, which I thought was just bad acting. And then I realized there's a reason, because she pulls out a piece of fucking paper, and it's got the fucking cutout. Somebody mailed her the cutout body glued to a piece of paper with her head on
Yes.
it, and we fucking see Jamie in the fucking window. Like, he's there to see her reaction
Yeah.
and, like, getting joy from her pain.
And it comes into play later on in the movie, too. It's even creepier.
So much creepier. I mean, this little fuck is absolutely
pervert.
disgusting. It's worse than a pervert. He's a fucking criminal. He's a sexual criminal.
Yeah,
He's a
yes.
sexual offender. This kid needs to be locked up, probably murdered, frankly. I'm going to say it.
He's
I'm
been
going to
pushed
say
down
it.
a pit.
We get to we cut to a scene that was so fucking confusing that like my brain was like exploding because I had no idea.
Is it
who
the bike?
No. This is when the parents are talking to the babysitter, but you have no idea who's a parent and who's not.
Yeah, that's why my notes have mom crossed out babysitter.
Because some of them are talking like that, and then some of them aren't, and then like the mom's like,
Wait,
or
that,
somebody says like, "Is the mom here?" But the mom's sitting there.
that happens before he's walking down the street and has like the interactions with everybody.
I believe so.
Damn it.
You missed a chunk of notes there.
Yeah. Or I just put him on a board or
No,
something.
that just says a woman,
It might be. That is,
a bicycle.
Yeah. So we get this like we basically get the background on Jamie, who he has mom issues with mom. He doesn't have any mommy issues. The mom's saying he has issues. And I have no idea who these people are talking. I still don't really know. So they're just giving a background on Jamie. He's having issues with girls. Then we cut to what you're saying. Not even. I don't even think that's. I don't think that happens till later, Joe.
well, they flash back. So
Because they show him trying to ride the girl's bike, and she's like, "Why don't you go back where you came from, weird person?"
yeah, right. And then we see the person in the wheelchair.
Oh my god, the Benjamin boy. Oh, he's not right. That one.
They're so mean.
I'm glad his parents are moving. Best scene ever.
They're so mean to him. First of all,
Dude,
she's pushing the
They
lady
all
in the
probably
wheel.
know he's a pervert.
Well, yeah, okay.
Well,
I'd be mean to that kid too.
I don't think they do know because he should be. Fucking,
Yeah, I don't think they do know because they
He'd be locked up.
exactly.
Yeah.
And
They hate him so much.
and
Send him
he's,
to an institution.
he's just standing on the sidewalk, and that lady's pushing the old lady in the wheelchair, and they have the entire sidewalk. And she pushes him right behind him. He's
Yeah.
like, "Excuse me, if you don't mind."
Not
Like,
even that. She goes, "Get out of the way."
Just push him around.
The older one that's pushing goes, "Get out of the way." And the old lady like kicks him, and she goes, because the old lady's like in the wheelchair and blind, and she goes, "Who was that?" And they just tell him, and she's like, "Oh, the Benjamin boy."
Just
He's
insulting his
disgusting,
entire family.
disgusting freak of a family.
And what you were saying with the girl, she's just so pissed that he's just standing near her bike. He's like, "Come on, let me ride it, please."
Dude, he's so annoying. Though. He's such a little.
Oh,
whiny
I'm not
turd.
defending him.
Yeah,
hate
no,
his
I
guts.
know, but he's a fucking pain in the ass.
The whole town sucks.
The whole town is awful. The whole town should be killed. Oh, and I loved that the dad walks into this meeting between the two women, and he's worried because he wears a cape and plays Tarzan.
Calls him a nut job.
Also, wearing a cape and playing Tarzan, I'm pretty sure is just being a kid. That's like the least offensive thing he's done. And Tarzan didn't wear a cape.
And then he like casually brings up, he's like, "Yeah, I knew he was naked, hanging from the trees."
I didn't even catch that.
But so the lady that they're talking to, I thought was a shrink,
Yes, so did I.
but she's not. She's just a kid.
She's just
that
a-
wants to be a shrink someday.
She's just a babysitter, and that they're laying all of their problems on. Will you babysit our kid? Yeah, sure. Give me a background. Oh, he's the fucking worst. He's a fucking nightmare.
Yeah, not only are you going to babysit him, you're actually going to live with him.
Yeah, for an undisclosed.
Why is this
amount of time.
happening?
Because I didn't understand.
I think they were moving. I don't know. I honestly don't
They
know.
just tried to ditch the kid.
I honestly don't know.
And then they have the psychiatrist. I can't even call her that. The babysitter over for dinner, and he's just dropping napkins on the floor so you can look up her skirt.
Yeah, in between close-ups of people's mouths chewing.
The father's mouth.
Like it was an experimental 1970s
gross.
psychedelic film. Like I was like, why am I seeing this? This isn't artistic. What is this fucking guy doing? So now this guy's living with this strange babysitter,
Yes.
and now we get a real
Just the two of them, though.
real glimpse into what we're going to see the rest of the movie with this kid, which is an obnoxious little shit.
Yeah.
He is so annoying. But on top of that, he's a fucking criminal and a creep.
Yes.
And a rapist.
Yes.
And he goes, "You know what I had to do in school yesterday? I had to write something on the board 100 times." She goes, "What was it?" "Not to crack my knuckles in class." It's like, okay, why would you say that out loud? Why would you tell this kid owns up to every crime he does so fast without anybody asking him?
I hate this kid's face.
Oh,
I'm
it's
just thinking-
disgusting.
I'm just
It's
thinking
disgusting.
about-
It's ugly. He's the ugliest kid of all time. Can we say it?
This
Can we
big
say it?
stupid nose.
He looks like an idiot. He's got that dumb bowl cut. It's awful, man. It's awful. He's doing well though. He teaches dance in Canada and is like in like an electrical field.
Oh, the guy?
Yeah.
Oh, good for
He's a
him.
municipal worker now.
Really?
Yeah.
Acting didn't work out for him?
No.
I wish he was in an electrical chair. Piece of shit.
I wish he was in House 3. An electrical chair. Yeah, no, he didn't do a whole lot. Neither did the director, go figure.
House and this movie both have kids being bathed by a babysitter that are way too old to be.
Oh my god. Yeah, this kid. But at least they acknowledge it in this one. In House, they're just like,
In House, she brings that kid over, and that day he's giving him a bath.
So this kid keeps asking about the girl's boyfriend. So we're getting some creepy vibes right now. She drops the knife, and he gets mad because he's like, "I'll pick it up," but she gets it anyway. He's like, "I said I'll get it." Freaks the fuck out.
Yeah.
And I love this because she goes, "Well, it's very nice of you, Jamie, but women nowadays can do things for themselves, like pick up knives." That's the rock you're gonna fucking die on. Like, what are you talking about? Of course, women can do things. It's 1981. It's not 1960. Oh, I guess it is in Canada. It's 1965 in Canada. Women are just getting the right to vote. We can pick up knives now, Jamie. We can clean the house. We have the right to do so now.
Yeah.
Fucking terrible. Yeah, so, and then he goes, I'm going to go talk to Teddy. And this is when we get first glimpse into Teddy, huh? She's not like the others, Teddy.
Teddy's voice. You have to be way more stupid and drawn
Well,
out.
this is the kid. He goes, she's not like the others, Teddy. She's pretty. Real pretty. And you're like, dude, this kid's a fucking serial killer. Which he is in the movie. Yeah. But he's like in real life, this guy's like killing whores, killing animals, and killing children.
Yes.
And then that's when Teddy's voice is just so ridiculous. It's like
one of those toys.
Well, it's him. It's Jamie.
It's the kid, but he sounds like one of the things from the Island of Misfit Toys.
yes. Like that same quality.
What's like the King Moonraker?
But it's like, it's okay, Jamie. Like, Will, she is pretty, but don't tell her our secret.
That's exactly.
Don't tell her our secret.
It's just him talking.
It's just him talking. It's so fucking terrible.
So annoying.
Why would you not just? It's so weird. And the Teddy thing, nothing to do with the story.
Nope.
At all.
It's just Jamie being an asshole.
It just.
Except it's not.
Why?
Because there's the one shot where the bear's like possessed and it turns its head.
Yeah, that's it.
But they never go back to it.
Yeah, that's what we're saying.
That's what we're saying.
What the fuck?
It does nothing.
Yeah.
The whole side story is stupid.
I don't know.
The serial killer, like if they made a serial killer plot, I think I'm in.
Well, I mean, there's so much wrong with this movie.
If there was a serial killer plot that wasn't background by Yakety Sax, I'm in. The montage of killing is to like Yakety Sax and him just running around trying to kill hens and cows.
Has somebody super spiced that?
No, but somebody should. Yeah. One of our fans should. Or I should. Or not. The closest nipple shot of all time happens.
The biggest areola. The shit was huge.
And we see it because it's just a close-up of this, cut to it, randomly.
Super close up.
So close.
Like Sergio Leone shot it.
And it turns out it's because fucking Jamie is...
At the end of her bed.
Jamie's just sitting there watching her. And he goes, I was just... Because she wakes up screaming. And he's like, I was just watching you sleep. She's like, well, you can't do that, Jamie. There's boundaries. You have to knock. We skipped a few parts, but whatever. Oh, like when he walks in on the bathroom on her.
Yeah, because the Teddy tells him to sneak a peek at
and
her
she's
in the
wearing
shower.
the most revealing nightgown of all time.
Super inappropriate to be babysitting.
Super inappropriate, but really hot. Mm-hmm. Super hot. Hot as hell. Great side boob. Great silhouette boob. I'm all on board with this film.
Great areolas.
Great areolas. Stop talking about her areolas. Jamie says he's had a lot of people like her around. And then leads to immediately telling her about a giant hole in the ground that he knows about. And explains that there's these things with yellow eyes that live in the bottom of the hole. And then Jamie runs off into the woods like an idiot, which he does periodically in the movie. Just has like a temper tantrum, and it's like, wah!
Also, she's a terrible babysitter.
Oh, the worst.
This is track him
doesn't
so
watch
many
him at
times.
all.
She like runs away and she goes for a jog.
Yeah.
Super weird though. Super weird. I can't keep track of my notes. I have so many of them too. But they end up going to the football game. We meet the babysitter's boyfriend who plays a not very critical role, but he's in it.
He's a jock.
They're watching football. He's the quarterback, right? Or he's on the team.
He's a star, I think.
Yeah, and they're watching him play, and everyone's cheering except Jamie, who's just throwing his popcorn all over everyone.
This girl's in high school.
No, I think they're college.
College?
Yeah. Because she's going to be a psychologist or whatever.
I was just confused about the whole football thing. It seemed like he was a high school football player.
It would seem that way, but no, he's a college guy. Yeah. He catches him making out after the game and then starts crying and runs up to his room.
Oh, he's 12. He says it. Sorry,
Oh, he is
I just saw a
12.
note.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
while he's spying in bed, he's like, "I'm only 12."
Which I never said when I was 12.
I'm only 12. Yeah.
I was like, I'm 12.
I'm a man.
Do you know who I am? 12 years old and my name is Sean. Someday I'm gonna do whatever I want. They're making out while this weird kid is watching from like 5 feet away, and he starts crying and runs up to his room. Has another conversation with Teddy, and we cut to the librarian and this woman talking, the babysitter talking, and the librarian's like, "Ooh."
She's got the dumbest glasses I've ever seen.
She's a good-looking woman, though.
Wait, can I go back for 1 second?
They dressed her ugly.
Did we talk about how when he goes to the pit, he talks to the Tralalas? He's like,
Has he gone to the pit yet?
yeah, because he ran back when he ran out of the house.
Oh, that's what this note is. I was like, who the fuck's he talking to in this note? That's why I didn't
He's
read
like,
it.
"Hey guys, it's me, Jamie. Remember?
Hello again.
I have a terrarium."
Hello again. Do you remember me? Yeah, he's like, do you remember me? I have a terrarium. And these things are like in the fucking bottom of a pit. He's trying to talk English to him. It's so fucking gross. Yeah, that was so fucking weird. And they give us a real glimpse of him, though, which I kind of appreciate that.
Sure.
I hate the name Tralalag, though.
I'd
It's
call them
stupid
Trogs
as
for
hell.
short.
Dude, I love
Yeah,
the name
Trogs.
Trogs. I wrote Trogs in my notes all over the place because it made me laugh. I just liked it a lot. So the librarian's talking to the babysitter and is basically like, "Oh, that Jamie." And then we get to see your favorite scene of all time.
When he sits on the bike.
Yeah, he's walking down
I laughed.
He's walking down the street. He goes to the neighbor's house.
And the girl that he met earlier that was like, "Get away from my bike," pulls up with the bike, and she's like, "Hey, would you like to sit on my bike?" And he's like, "Oh, gee, wow, I would love to." And he sits on it, and the bike, it doesn't just fall apart, it like explodes. Pieces like go flying in the
Dude,
air.
like literally the handlebar and the front wheel go like 10 feet in the air in front of him. It's the most insane thing.
I
And the girl's
rewound it.
The girl's just laughing hysterically. The girl's just cracking up. And frankly, I would too.
Yeah.
And the librarian comes out, who I guess is her aunt. That's dropped on us.
Yes. I don't
Just
know
for
why.
the sake of like keeping them in the same scene and not paying another actress. And they were like, she's like, "Oh, you can't do that to him no matter what." Like, and she's like, "Well, he's like a weird person." She's like, "You can't call him that." So it's really weird because the librarian was just telling her babysitter what a piece of shit,
Yeah.
vile piece of shit the kid is. And then she's like, "You can't say that about him." The lady finds the nudie mag in his bedroom and is like, 12-year-old with a nudie mag? What is this? This is... In what planet does a 12-year-old have a nudie mag? She's totally perplexed.
Every fucking.
Worst psychologist ever.
You know what? No, because when I was teaching, there was like, was it either third or fourth graders that had nudie mags, and there was two teachers that are like our age, and they're like, "I cannot believe that this has happened. Like, what was wrong with this country?"
Dude,
I'm like,
are you kidding
I
me?
was looking at this shit all the time when I was that age. Like,
Do people just forget, I guess?
I don't know. They're like, "I can't believe like we should call it." Like
They
they
have
wanted.
access to everything
I
now.
I know.
At least when we found shit, you found like a 70s with chick with a huge bush.
Or you even found, even current you saw, like, not a lot.
They were like perplexed and blown away, and like wanted to like call in outside sources, and I'm like, "It's fine. Like that's what we do."
I hope they got a brand new
That's
Playboy
so
where they're not
crazy.
naked. Take that, you stiffs.
Maxim. Suckers. Stupid suckers. Ah, dude. If I could go back to 6th grade in this day and age, sell kids Maxims, tell them it's porn.
But why would they buy it?
Those are stupid kids younger than me.
They can just go online and type in boobs.
Oh, yeah, that's the problem.
Then you gotta worry about mom and pops walking in.
We could do it like
Gotta unplug
Anywhere.
that computer real fast.
Your parents, none of these parents care what these kids are doing anymore. So it doesn't matter. They don't care. The kids have their own phones and shit.
yeah, it's impossible to monitor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
I mean, my parents cared. I still found a way.
You see
Stuffed, printed out nude photos into CD cases from his home printer.
classic
Cut out,
sticks.
too. Cut out in the shape of the bod. Not
Oh, just like Jamie.
even the square.
Yeah, that's telling.
What a sicko.
So anyway, back to this fucking movie. They have a back and forth about troglodytes and trolls. It's riveting.
Troglodytes.
And finally, after an entire movie of this kid being like, I gotta go talk to Teddy. I gotta go tell Teddy. She's like, who's Teddy?
Yeah.
He said it about a dozen times already. She finally asks him, and he's like, my bear. Oh, your teddy bear. Like, this is somehow confusing. And by the way, she saw the bear on the bed.
I know.
You'd be like, oh, that's fucking
It's obviously Teddy.
Teddy. This kid has no fucking friends.
Who's Theodore?
Who's this man Theodore you're talking to? Yeah.
Well, I put a note down. Why is it, like, at this point, I'm wondering, when's the pit going to come into any play?
Yeah. You're right. I mean, you're right. But here comes a great scene. He asks his babysitter to wash his back.
Yeah.
And now she knows all of these things about him, and
Right.
she still just, like, falls for it.
Yeah. And she's like, aren't you a little old for that? And he's like, nah.
Oh, okay.
And that's what she does.
Oh, let me rub you down, son.
She goes, oh, all right. And then they go upstairs
Give you a sponge bath?
and gives her a sponge bath. And it's so fucking gross. And Jamie confesses his love to her. The director is definitely in jail. And he goes, why does my mom wash me so much? She's like, so fucking weird. Like, so fucked up. Like, at this point, it's like, I'm like, this is the darkest movie I think I've ever seen in my life. Like, this is fucked up. And then he goes, do you like washing me? And it's just fucking disturbing. But the kid gets this idea to feed monsters chocolate bars. So he does that. Then he goes to, after doing that, he's like, oh, let's go see what they actually want to eat. And goes to the library and looks up carnivores and discovers that they eat meat. And he goes to a butcher.
A straight up butcher.
Just a
Like,
butcher.
oh, my mom wants this
buys
entire
like
cow.
60 pounds of
Yeah.
meat. And the butcher's like, oh, that's a lot of meat. He goes, well, it's for 5 people. Fucking idiot. And now he's feeding the monsters raw meat, the Trogs raw meat, which they seem to enjoy. And another fucked up scene here. The babysitter's taking a shower, and he runs in. Dude, he runs everywhere. He's always running. And he, like, runs in really fast and writes, I love you, with, like, lipstick on the mirror. So fucking gross.
And then she goes, did you write that while I was in the shower? Yeah, obviously. And his response was like, yeah, it was more obnoxious than that. It was like that guy from The Simpsons. Like, yeah.
That's true. I love that voice. And like these scenes are happening so rapid fire that it's like they don't know how to make a movie, kind of. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, that's why that guy only made one.
yeah, I know.
That sucked.
So, because like this is like a scene that you break up, like, right? So like you put something else in between, but instead it just cuts to him like immediately stealing more money.
Yeah.
And being like, we need more meat, like the day after. Like I'm like, how much time is going by?
Right before he steals the money, it doesn't cut to that scene where he's sexually harassing the librarian.
That does happen right after the mirror.
Oh, it does. Oh, why don't I have that? Wait,
That scene was insane.
what happens in it?
When he prank calls her, but he's
Oh no, that's after. That's after.
I have it right after the shower.
Oh really? How
Yeah.
the fuck could I have possibly done that?
I don't know, dude.
All right. Well, so this is the fucking craziest shit I've ever seen in my entire life, and this is when I was like, this might be a decent movie. Like, what is this going to happen? Like, this kid's a fucking
Pervert.
serial killer. Like, no one does this. He sets up a tape recorder and calls the librarian,
Yes.
and the tape recorder is just the Teddy voice, which is just his voice.
Yeah.
Which it sounds like a 12-year-old.
Yeah. And it's just him saying he kidnapped her niece. Actually, it's not just that. It's him having a conversation with her pre-recorded somehow.
And
Like, she's like, who is this? And he's like, you don't know. And they're having like a full 5-minute conversation that he's apparently
the
already
fact that she
recorded.
believes it is so unbelievable.
Because it's clearly a child talking.
Yes.
It's clearly a child
And
talking.
he's bothered her before.
Yeah.
Like, why wouldn't she just be like, oh, it's this
It's
idiot?
clearly the kid that lives on my street and is a pervert.
Yeah, and cuts out pictures of me.
And
Yeah.
while this is happening, he's spying
Male-
on her.
Yeah.
He's spying on her from her window right next to, right she's standing right in front
With
of
a
the window.
camera.
With a camera. And she's like, I'll do whatever you want. He goes, I want to see you. And I'm thinking he's like trying to lure her out of the house and
it's
make
for the
her
pit.
bait.
Yeah.
No. He makes her.
Oh, he wanted it for bait, all right.
Jesus Christ. He makes her. It's the most fucked up thing, dude. He's like, he's making her take off her clothes in the fucking window.
Yeah.
And she starts undressing. And he's, that's a good Miss Livingston. Again, this is on a pre-recorded tape.
That's a good point.
So good.
That's a good Miss Livingston. The most fucked up thing like I've ever seen. And she's like tearful and like,
Yeah, it's like a rape scene.
yeah, it is rape. And she's stripping for who knows. They don't know, even though he's like right in the window. You can clearly see him.
And she's staring out that window. Like,
Yeah.
who's talking to me?
Who's talking to
See
me?
me.
She's like screaming and he's taking flash photography from outside. Can't identify this guy. Yeah, and then the niece walks in and is like, Auntie, what are you doing?
Like, I'll kill you.
It's so while it's the most awful scene of all time, it's also ludicrous.
I laughed very hard.
Yeah, it's hilarious because of how insane and bad it is.
And it's totally unnecessary for the movie.
It plays no fucking role.
That's
in
why,
the movie.
that's why I'm saying, why did you say you like this movie?
I don't know.
There's nothing to like.
It's because it's just a corny old fucking movie. I don't know. I didn't hate it. He goes home to beat off with his teddy bear and his new Polaroids. He goes, I'm going to look at these a lot. Or no, the Teddy said it, so it's like, I'm going to look at these a lot. Fucking gross. And they confront him about this. Like, this movie's fucking weird. This movie's weird. Or no, they confront him about stealing.
Yeah.
And he runs away. They didn't confront him about this. And
Stealing
this
the
scene,
money.
yeah. And he just runs away. And then they're like, all right. He learned his lesson.
Right. Then he tries to go steal meat to feed.
Dude, he doesn't try. He
Steal
does.
the whole cow.
No. He tries to steal meat and he gets caught. So
Oh,
then he steals a cow.
No.
Whole cow.
He steals the meat successfully. Dude, he steals the meat off that truck. That's the one you're talking about?
Yeah.
He takes it off the truck and the truck driver goes like, "Hey!" And then like looks back at the truck and just shrugs his shoulders and is like, "Well, got meat to deliver."
Oh, I assumed he just put it down and ran away.
No, he took it.
Oh. Well, then he steals a full cow.
Then he tries to steal a full cow. And he's like, "Come on, cow, come on." And he's trying to pull it. And he's like, whatever.
So then he tries to steal chickens.
And just is falling all over himself in the dirt. The worst job I've ever seen trying to catch a chicken. And Teddy says there's only one thing left to do. And that's round up all the nasty people and feed them to the Trogs.
So the first one is that girl that punked him with the bicycle. And
Yep.
I didn't write down what he says, but I know it was like the most heaviest reverse psychology of all time to
Yeah,
get her
yeah.
to come with him.
Which is, by the way, like that's all like the kids just talk in reverse psychology the entire movie. Every kid's like, "Hey, I bet you can't catch me."
Yeah.
That's dude.
So
they play
she-
catch so much in Canada. That's all they did was play catch in the
With a
80s.
bicycle, with a football.
With a football, dude. If a kid ran, whatever. I'm not. We'll get to it. Yeah. So he lures this girl into the pit, and he doesn't push her or anything. He's not even a bad guy. She just walks in.
She walks
he-
right into that pit.
She falls on the bike. He gets on the bike, and then he goes to the other side of the pit, and she walks right into it.
Dude, and it's the
It's like a
biggest
cartoon.
fucking pit.
Daylight.
It's so big.
It's like
the
he's like
biggest pit.
kneeling behind the bike, and she just walks.
Yeah.
It would've been-
falls
yeah.
right in.
They filmed it like a cartoon, except they didn't have the ability for them to be suspended in air for like 2 seconds. And be like, whoa,
Oh yeah. And there's a sign. He walks out from the pit, and there's a sign, and it says "Danger, Bogs."
Well, like Trogs.
Trogs and Bogs. Then we get our montage of kills with yakety sax playing in the background.
He gets the old lady next in the wheelchair.
She's flailing her arms.
Her
the whole
shrieking
way.
is so funny,
Dude, it's ridiculous. And
and they're not even going fast.
dude, she's screaming like Mrs. Doubtfire. She's like, "Whoa!" Whoa!
He's pushing her uphill somehow,
Dude,
It's
he's
so slow.
he is pushing her around town. They are cutting scenes, and he's pushing her around town where people are like walking around town, and she's like, "Whoa!"
You know how hard to be a little kid and push a wheelchair up a dirt
And it's a
hill?
mechanical one.
Because he starts ripping around on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he dumps her into the pit and he just comes flying out of the wheelchair.
He's got funny.
He's got some great one-liners. Like my father says, well, I'll have to go sometime.
It's not a good one.
Jerk. Then he lures Sandy's boyfriend
Yep.
by playing
Football with him.
and just taking the football and running into the woods and being like, "Come over here!" Like if I was like, "Dude, get out of the fucking woods! You
Hey,
can't play
John,
football in
go
the woods."
deep.
And that's another guy that just literally runs into the
He's
pit,
gonna go run a route. I'll throw it for you. So he just runs right in.
runs right into the pit. And then we're back at the party from the beginning of the movie, and they make us watch the entire scene
That's the third time.
again.
That's the third time.
We get to watch, and it's in its entirety. It's in its entirety with like new scenes. It's like the director's cut of the.
And I don't know why it's there.
I mean, because I guess they were trying to show us like the timeline of people. I guess the real question is why was it at the beginning?
That is the real question.
Yeah.
Probably because they were like, oh, we don't show the pit till like 100 minutes in, so we should probably fucking show it at the beginning.
That actually could be it.
That it probably is.
That makes more sense than anything else.
Yeah. So that way they're like, yeah. So kids like Paul will be like, it's actually 2 minutes in. Which I was also my thought too when Joe said it to me. So, where are we now? Oh, so what do we have here?
So all these people fell down the pit.
Yeah, we get to we see the party rehash, and then we cut to we get a weird one too. He's like talking to the girl, and he's like talking about bullies aren't pretty, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna send you to heaven and shit, which is really fucking weird for a guy that's killing people to say. But
And he gets the babysitter to come to the pit with him. And she didn't really believe
she
it was
already,
real.
and she already has a new boyfriend, by the way.
She
She
doesn't even know he's dead.
The next scene we are in,
Yeah.
and the
She's
new
like, "Oh, they
boyfriend's
call
like,
me
"Hey,
back."
where's Alan?" And she's like, "Hey, I don't know, I haven't heard from him."
like a course of an hour.
Like it's crazy. Yeah, and he lures her out. It's
so funny.
You know how he lures them out? Because he's outright is like, "Oh yeah, I'm feeding people to monsters."
Yeah.
He tells her. It's the weirdest fucking thing.
And then when she gets there, she's like, "Well, I didn't think you were serious." And she doesn't walk into the pit. She slips by. She sees the pit because she's talking to him about it. So she
They're
just turns her
looking
back.
in the pit.
She just turns her back and takes a step backwards. She deserved it.
Everyone stands like directly on the edge.
It's so stupid. And there's a bunch of trolls
And
down
she's
there.
like, she's
Well,
like,
could not stand farther away from that.
and she calls them pigs or warthogs or something. Yeah. And then it's finally like, wait, those are Trogs. Like, oh, now in the right light.
Classic case of
I see
Trogs.
that they're Trogs.
That's the case of Trogs. So she falls down. The Trogs eat her.
Well, I also want to say one thing. I'm sorry. She talks about. She's like, we gotta show these to like people. Like this is a discovery, and she's explaining what an archaeologist and a paleontologist. She's like, do you know what the paleontologist is? And Jamie's like freaking out, and he's like, he's mad.
She's a Trog expert.
He's mad because they'll keep him in cages because
Thank
that pit is so fucking luxurious. He's like, "Okay, they can't keep them in cages. Dude, they're in like a 3x3 pit in the earth, and they have no food. Like, what are you talking about? And then, yeah, she fucking Sandy slips in, and the little creep does nothing. He just runs back to Teddy crying. And he goes, "Oh, it's not my fault. She died. I didn't do anything wrong." And we cut to his parents, who are now home.
And the father was like,
Perfect time.
The father's reading a murder article.
on Sandy. On Sandy.
Yeah.
Well, sorry about your friend. First of all, she died like 5 minutes ago. It's unbelievable.
And
Like,
also,
you two are pretty close,
yeah,
huh?
he's not reacting.
He actually bathed me. Freak.
He's not reacting, so the parents are like concerned because he's just like sitting there. But like they're like what would you do if your parents were like, "I'm gonna read you this article about your dead friend," and then they're like, "So what do you have to say about that?
Yeah,
What do
traumatizing.
you have to say about your dead friend?" And then she disappeared. She's never to be seen again. She's probably dead. What do you have to say about that, Jamie? Jamie's like, "I don't know," which he doesn't do himself any favors.
And then a cop comes over to ask him questions, and the cop manages to say the word mustache more times than any human has ever said.
Officer Bob Newhart on the scene of the crime. And he's telling, and Bob Newhart's asking him the most ridiculous questions, and he's pinning it on the new boyfriend.
Yeah,
he's like, he's got a mustache.
Yeah, he got like a pedophile too. The pedo mustache. I pin it on that guy.
It's 1975 in Canada, Paul.
Oh yeah, that's right.
He's like, he had a green car. Maybe yellow.
Yeah, it's
green.
weird. And then he also starts seeing Sandy's ghost.
Yep.
Yeah.
That
In
was
the mirror.
a good plot.
Yeah.
Good addition to the plot.
Fuck this movie, man.
And now the Canadian cops. And now this turns into a cop film for the rest of the movie. It's a manhunt movie. It's The Fugitive, the Fugitrog. And it's just these dudes chasing trogs around. These Canadian police officers. And Newhart is...
Because they got out of the pit somehow.
Yeah, Bob Newhart. It's not really Bob Newhart, but it looks exactly like
Jamie
that.
left a rope. He's like, I can't take care of you anymore. Here's a rope.
Oh my...
Climb out.
Oh my God! Wait
With
a
the
minute.
human hand when the
Dude,
truck climbs
Yes, yeah. So first they find the girl's bike, and they're like, "Oh, you know why I chose to live in this town? Eh? It's because nothing ever happens here." And then they start interrogating the boyfriend, and they're like, "The kid planted the tutu, the nudie pics, and the tape recorder in that guy's fucking car. How? No fucking clue. This kid is like a mastermind now." And the cop's like, "Oh, what do you make of this? Only a weirdo would do this, eh?" and like he's playing it so cool. And why don't they just play the tape recorder to hear a child's voice?
Yeah.
The kid you were just talking to. And then the cop ends the interrogation by going, "The way I see it, 2 and 2 equals 4." These cops are the most inept cops of all time.
They're bad. What was the other movie we watched with the worst cops ever? We recently did.
Oh, what was that?
These guys give them a run for their money.
Fuck, what was that? I don't know.
Maniac Cop?
No,
No, they're pretty bad, but
no, there was one that were.
Texas Chainsaw.
No.
Amityville.
Nope. It doesn't matter. We can figure it out.
Yeah, I guess
later.
we really don't need to be doing this on the show. I mean, I'm looking at all of these, and they're all terrible. The gay Dr. Giggles.
No.
Pieces.
No.
Pieces had the worst cops of all time.
It was not the one I'm thinking of.
Fuck you, then. Yeah, I don't know which one it is. So yeah, and then little Jamie lets the Trogs out by throwing the rope in. It's appalling. It's appalling. Oh, wait a minute. Where's Yeah, he throws the rope in and screams, "Take care of yourselves." So weird. And why would you think they could climb out?
I don't know, but they did flawlessly.
Dude, perfect.
2 seconds.
And they're just rolling around in the grass and the dirt.
They're pretty much Kreitz.
Yeah, they are Kreitz. Except when they get out and then they're just grown men in plastic bags. Back to Bob Newhart who's saying they're not dead and is like, we can't tell anyone about this because I don't want them to know. It's like, I don't want to look like an idiot, eh? So fucking weird. And then we cut to the Trogs who are now watching people swim.
Local watering hole.
And this it's a guy and a girl, and the Trogs are watching them. And the girl goes, "Want to go skinny dipping?" And he goes, "I'm tired." And then just turns around and goes to sleep in the dirt while the girl swims. And
Jaws rip off.
Here's the twist: Trogs just wanted to learn how to swim.
The end.
The end.
I wish.
We see a few more deaths pop up.
So uninteresting.
The Trogs killed the 2 skinny dippers, and one of them is carrying the girl over his shoulder. They're supposed to be
That's pretty
miniature
funny.
in the pit, and then they come out and they're carrying a girl over their shoulder, and that dude is struggling. That dude's knees are buckling in that. He's walking like bow-legged, and he's fucking taking those huge steps. It's so ridiculous. It's amazing. And then Newhart basically puts together a militia. And We're looking for animals. Just kill them. Don't think about it. Just shoot. As soon as you see anything, just shoot. Terrible advice. And somehow they're actually right behind the Trogs.
Yeah.
They're like right behind
Takes
them.
them 2 seconds.
Like-
no suspense.
No suspense whatsoever.
No, that the truck just backtrack right to the pit.
They'll go back to the pit and they just light them all up.
Well, first of all, I was like, how do Trogs know what guns are? And then I'm like,
Great
okay,
question.
let's not look
But
into
they
this.
do.
But then I'm like, okay, so they're smart enough to know what a gun is. But then they're like, let's get in this fucking pit where we're safe. And they fucking blast them all. Fucking shoot them all to death in this pit. And the Trogs
Then they
are
get
all dead.
Did they get a bulldozer?
Anticlimactic.
And then, yeah.
So I was like, one of them had to escape.
And by the way, why wasn't anybody like, why didn't anyone during all of this check the fucking dangerous bog with the sign that said danger bog for any disappearance, anything that was going on? Wouldn't for the town be like, all right, why don't we check the fucking bog that we still haven't filled in? We just put up a fucking wood sign and we see that fucking one kid go back there fucking twice a day. A little creep. But no, that's not what happens. They're confused and they bury in the pit and there's like some guy on the phone that we've never seen before. And he's like, oh yeah, we're not going to tell anyone.
You can't let this get out to the papers.
We'll be all over the papers. We'll be the laughing stock of Canada. Yeah.
But the parents know, right? Because they move Jamie, or they just move him for the hell of it.
I don't know. It's the most boring ending of all time, though. They bury the pit. And then, I don't want to be buried in a Trog cemetery.
Well, then Jamie moves to a new neighborhood, and he meets a girl.
Yep.
And he goes for a walk with
Wait,
her.
isn't that his cousin?
Yes.
Oh, is
Yeah,
his
it's
cousin?
his cousin.
Somehow.
Okay.
He walks up.
What are the odds of that?
Well, because
So
the dad's
he-
like, she'll be your new best friend.
Yeah, he moves in with his grandparents. And the grandpa's like, see that girl over there? She'll be your new best friend. Go play with her. And then he walks up to her, and she's like, I guess we're cousins.
Yeah. Dude, I would not.
And then
leave Jamie alone with
she
that
tells
girl.
him that there's a pit.
Yep.
Another pit with
Yeah.
Trogs in it.
Yep.
No, she just leads him to it. You shouldn't
She
tell.
goes, look what I found.
And he's like, oh shit, let me stare near the edge.
And he goes, hey, troglologs, they eat people.
She's
That's his announcement. That's his declaration.
Yeah.
she's like, I know.
Yeah. And then shoves him in.
And she shoves him in, but it doesn't even show you because like freeze frame.
Freeze framed on his ugly face. Not even his whole face, like half of his ugly mug.
Oh, this movie sucks, Sean.
I thought it was fun.
No,
No, you didn't, dude.
No.
It just didn't have a straight direction. Why the bear? Why the bad comedy?
So why everything?
The kid's a grade A pervert.
And why so fucking dark and grim and sexual?
It was weird
It was very
and
weird.
uncomfortable.
It's got a small cult following, though.
Well, good for them.
And a Blu-ray. Do you have a Blu-ray?
I do not have a
Well,
Blu-ray.
then everyone shut the fuck up. Everyone that has a Blu-ray, raise their hand. Is that Corey Feldman on TV? No, that's definitely not Corey Feldman on TV. So that's it, guys.
Wait, him?
Yeah, oh, Rob
Gronk?
Gronkowski.
Just confused Gronk with Corey Feldman.
It was a weird shot, man. It was. Shut the fuck up. Do we have anything we want to talk about? Anything we need to talk about? Probably have some announcements that I'll have to record later, but thank you guys so much for listening. We really appreciate it. If you want to help the show, rate, review, subscribe on iTunes. That's the best way to help us. If you do, send me an email, sean@ihatehorror.com, and I'll send you some free stickers in the mail. If you can support monetarily, we have patreon.com/ihatehorror. It's like a donation service, and we do bonus episodes there. We also have store.ihatehorror.com, which is our shirts, which look pretty dope. We've seen a few, and they look pretty sweet. So check those out. Buy them. Tons of colors, tons of everything. Styles, whatever. Facebook.com/ihatehorror, ihatehorror.com. I'm on Twitter @IHateHorrorShow and Instagram @IHateHorror.
I'm at JoeV421, Instagram, Boognish1985, and Horror Show Joe on Snapchat. Paul is
Paul?
at Bujaga87 on both Instagram and Twitter.
Oh,
And he works at
the Horror Show Labs.
Yep.
So
In the pit.
next week,
yes.
it's not November. It's Trovember. Actually, I'm kidding. It's not even November or Trovember. It is Trovember.
It'll be December.
It's
It's going to be
December.
December. Trocember?
December.
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 Well, this is a failure. We skipped Trovember this year, rightfully so. We lost like half our fans that month. But we are going to still do a Trauma movie.
Well, Luther the Geek isn't necessarily. Is that what we're doing?
It is Trauma.
We're right, but it wasn't made by Kaufman.
No.
So it's like, one of the good ones. That's like Cannibal the Musical.
Yes. We are doing Luther the Geek. Luther the Geek. And then the week after that, Urban Legend.
Ugh.
I'm so excited.
Really?
Yeah. I've wanted to relive some of those like 2000s. I just spit 2000s movies. I'm pretty excited about it.
Was there one with Brittany?
Murphy?
Yes.
I don't know.
Cherry Falls?
Oh.
Jawbreaker.
People like that.
Rose
Clueless?
McGowan.
Cool. Yeah, she was in those. Yeah.
All right, guys. That's it, right? We have nothing else?
No.
All right, man. So for Joe and Paul, this is Sean. Stay weird.
Thank you.
Deuces.
Adios. Thank you, Paul. It's been a pleasure. So, Paul, when are you coming back? Stannies and... Oh, episode 100.
Yeah.
Episode 100 and the Stannies should be side by side. It's a good idea. Do Dead Body Man and the Stannies.
So are we going to watch Dead Body Man together first and then go
I
right
think-
into it?
That's a good question.
I don't think I can do more than one night of Dead Body Man. Takes a lot out of you. Literally, I might throw up.
Paul, you'll be fine. I didn't think the ending was that bad.
Of Dead Body Man?
Yeah. Paul laughed. He literally was in the fetal position. And when I saw it, I was like, you're fucking dead.
Dude, you weren't there, man.
Cause I'm a gorehound, hellbound horror movie lover. I like my voyeurism with a glass of red rum. Cause I'm a gorehound, hellbound horror movie lover. Good and evil are just